Good morning, everybody. We are here at Tolliston Dunes at the Indiana Dunes National Park. This is a short little 3-mile hike, but I really like it. It's got a little bit of elevation in it, but you're out in the trees. Your birds are all over, little chipmunks and squirrels. Seems like a lot of the trails here at the Dunes National Park are either extreme elevation in these soft dunes, and it just tears your legs up. It's not all that much fun. It can be, but it can be a bit of a workout. Or there's a lot of this open savanna where you're just kind of cooking in the sun. This is one that I really like because it's a lot more of these black oak trees, some cottonwood, so a few maple kind of stuck in here, but it's primarily cottonwood and black oak. So it's a beautiful morning. It's like, I think it's low 80s. So we'll get a nice walk out in the woods. But don't think you're going to go to the Indiana Dunes National Park and not have to climb up some sand. No matter how heavily wooded the trail is, you're gonna run into sand dunes. It's one of the beautiful things about this park. So anybody who has not done this trail and was thinking about it, there is a short loop and a long loop. The short loop I think is like 3/4 of a mile shorter. So if you're just trying to get out and get a little bit of fresh air and you don't really want to do the full 3 miles, I think it's just under, I think it might be like just under 2 miles if you do the short loop. So it's an option. A lot of these trails out here have these little shortcuts that you can take if you don't feel like doing the whole trail, or you've already done other trails and the day's getting a bit long on you. It's a great opportunity to still get out here, but not necessarily have to go all the way back into the woods. Also, watch out for ticks. I haven't seen any yet, but I've seen them here before. The wildflowers are really looking beautiful. One of the things that my wife absolutely loves about the Indiana Dunes National Park is all the wildflowers just right along the trail. So it's something that she comes out here with me, always with a big smile on her face. The bugs have not been too bad. I've seen a couple mosquitoes swarm by. I didn't put any insect repellent on. I tend not to unless I need to. No sense adding more toxic chemicals to my body. But there are quite a few gnats. This time of year with the humidity, you'll get these little black gnats. They're kind of a pain in the neck. If you do find yourself interested in coming out and doing the Tolliston Dunes Trail, do wear long pants. There are a tremendous amount of, in the Army we called them wait a minute vines, and there's these little vines with thorns on them, and they will catch your legs and it will not be pleasant. So wear a pair of hiking slacks or joggers or something. My suggestion. I mean, obviously hike your hike, but yeah, the gnats are getting all over me here because I slowed down a little bit. But the bugs actually, not too bad at all. Sometimes the mosquitoes can be vicious out here, so I always carry my head net and insect repellent, but try not to use it unless I have to. Okay, so I haven't been here in a couple of years. This isn't one of my common trails, but I don't remember this being here. It might be new. It's in really good shape, so it may be only a couple of years old. But I don't think I've been on this trail in maybe 3 years. Yeah, pretty cool walking over the marshy, swampy areas on a neat little bridge like that with a couple of seats. Thank you, National Park Service. Okay, some of you might be thinking, wow, Steve, not a lot to see. You're just walking through the woods. It's one of the things about this national park. If you're not on the lake, walking along the dune ridgeline, looking at Lake Michigan, or you're in like Pinhook Bog, there's no beautiful vistas overlooking, river-fed gorges. There are no waterfalls. I don't think there's a single waterfall in this national park, and it's just because of the terrain and the ecosystem. You have a lot of, like I said before, a lot of these black oak savannas. You have a lot of marshy areas, and you have a lot of sand dunes. So the visual aspect, these gnats. The visual aspects aren't like New River Gorge or the Great Smoky Mountains or some of these very large parks. Even Cuyahoga Valley. Cuyahoga Valley has a lot more rock formations, obviously Brandywine Falls, some really pretty scenes. The beauty here at the Indiana Dunes National Park is far more subtle. You really have to pay attention. You're not just going to walk out on this vista and be overwhelmed by this beautiful view. You have to find the little views, the little bits of beauty, whether it's a bald eagle flying through the woods, whether it's the wildflowers or chipmunks scourging for food, or just a spot back there where you're in the marshy land and you could just see the trees off in the distance around the marsh. You have to look a little more carefully for the beauty, but trust me, it's there. Okay, so we are here back at the trailhead. It's been just under 3 miles, right at about an hour. So a nice little morning hike. If you haven't been out here, you should really check this little trail out. It's kind of a hidden gem here at the national park. And don't forget, support your public lands, contact your congressman, your senators, your governor. Make sure that you let your elected representatives know that these public lands are important and they need to be preserved and protected. And we'll see you next time on the trail. Thank you. Good morning. We are at Glenwood Dunes now, which is another trail here at the Indiana Dunes National Park. This was part of the section I did last year for the 46 Climbs suicide prevention fundraiser. So if you look back at some of my videos, you'll see some of this. This is one of my favorite trails up here at the national park because when it's got a little bit of mileage on it. I think it's 6.5, 6.75 miles, I believe, somewhere around there. If you just do the loop, it's a loop, so I'm not doing an out and back. Everybody who knows me knows I'm not a big fan of the out and backs. The conditions are usually pretty good. I have a feeling I'm going to be putting on some mosquito repellent here because I've just already gotten a couple of swarms. But looks like there's also been some horses out here. This is a great little path, not a tremendous amount of elevation. Once again, like many of the trails here, it's just a lot of walking through the woods. But it's a beautiful day. Weather is nice. Last time I was here it was raining, so it's not raining today, which is always good. Hiking in the rain is never that much fun. Definitely some horses out here, but should be a nice, beautiful day hike out here at Glenwood Dunes. So let's see what we can find. Road crossing. There's a couple. All right, so every once in a while you have to question whether you're still on the trail or not. Looks like we have quite an obstruction. A big tree fell. Very big tree fell. Huh. That was a really big tree. Yeah, well, usually what I do when I come across things like that is I'll either swing by the ranger station, or there's been a couple times that I've seen a ranger or a volunteer and just let them know where it is so they can let the maintenance crew know, and they'll come out here with some chainsaws and in a matter of an hour or so have that totally cleared up for the hikers. It's the volunteer resources here at Indiana Dunes is tremendous. They have an army of people that are sometimes they're retired and they're out here nearly every day. Sometimes it's just something to do with their spare time and contribute, so they're here on the weekends. But it's always great to see the volunteer teams out doing trail maintenance, scouting, taking part in ranger-led trails. It's a really great program. So I'm walking down this trail and I stumble up on a very large red-tailed hawk, and he got himself some lunch. It looked like it may have been a squirrel. I didn't have the camera out, of course. I never have the camera out when cool stuff like that happens. But he looked up at me and flew off with whatever meal he caught in his talons. And he was big. His wingspan barely cleared the width of this trail. So he was a big boy. But I've seen eagles and hawks out here a number of times. The eagles most of the time I've seen out closer to the lakeshore, but we have a very healthy bald eagle and red-tailed hawk population in the area. And when it looks like the critters are digging up nuts and roots and stuff, you see it on the trail, little spots where something was digging. And I think the birds of prey have learned, if they sit on these tree branches and just be patient, sooner or later some little furry critter will walk by and serve themselves up bon appetit style. Okay, so I have a personal rule. By the time the third gnat flies into my eyeball, I put on the head net. It's just worth it. Gnats are vicious out here today. This is a wasp ball. There's another one right there. You walk by these on the trails out here, and they resemble some sort of fruit, whether kind of a weird looking walnut or even a dried up apple of some sort. But this is actually holds wasp larvae. So if you break this thing open, there's going to be wasp larvae in there. So they attach to the trees. The larvae develops in there for a while, and then you'll find them cracked open where the wasps escape and claw their way out. They're all over the trails up here. You see them all over. So we'll throw him back out in the woods. So as much as I hate wasps, they are part of the ecosystem. They are part of the food chain. I can't figure out what purpose they serve, but I'm confident they do something valuable. So unless they're growing in my garage, I try not to kill them. All right, 4 miles into it. So we've got 3 3/4 left. So we're over halfway. We are almost to the USGS office. That's kind of the point that we circle back on this little part of the loop and head back to the main part of the trail. It's been really nice out here. The one part, there's a section here, it's about a mile and a half that runs right along US 12. So you have to deal with the cars and the motorcycles, and it does kind of take away from the tranquility of being out on the trail. But here we're going to be making a quick turn, and we'll be heading back deeper into the woods away from the highway and back towards the trailhead. Probably be done in about an hour and a half. Should be back to the trailhead. although not sponsored by, but definitely willing to entertain the idea, is Element. So it is a little warm out here. It's in the low 80s. So usually how I do these hikes is the first liter of water I drink is just water. And then the second is when I start really digging in. Oh, hey, hold on a second. That right there is a deer tick. So